Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys here tonight. Here's the thing. Has the Federal Reserve actually started quantitative easing again? Without telling any of us. I come across something at the Fed's website today. I want to show you guys because I find this very interesting. Let's start the charts right here and let's talk about this. Here's what it is. Looking at this chart from Fred, from the Federal Reserve. This chart comes from Fred's economic data from the Federal Reserve, Economic Research Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis. And this chart is assets, securities held outright by the U.S. Treasury securities. This is the bonds that the Fed buys. That's basically what this chart is. And you can see that during their quantitative tightening schedule, that the amount of securities that they held were dropping all during 2017 and into 2018 and into 2019. But that's not what I'm interested in. What I'm interested in, what I found tonight that interests me, is right on the end here. Come right out to the end. You can see it dropping their securities. They were cashing in their bonds. And if we go back, first before we do that, let's go back to quantitative easing here, and see what they were doing. They were making bond purchases, and their amount of securities they held were going up and up and up during 2010, 2011, 2012. Boy, they bought a lot in 2011, and then they bought a lot in 2013, and this is how they got up to these big numbers, right? But now let's move into the future here to when they started actually tapering back on their balance book. You can see it here, right? And they're tapering down. But what I'm interested in is right on the end, right, let's focus in on it, right, the last couple weeks here. So let's move forward in time to when they were doing the quantitative tightening, and their amount of their balance sheet was dropping. Right on the end here, though. That's what I noticed, right on the end. Let's get closer in. Right here on the end, you see this? This is the first time in ages their balance book's going up. From it started on Wednesday, August 14th, 2019 to August 21st. So that's 1 week. So they've been at it for a week. They've been buying bonds for a week. It's the only thing. I can't see anything else that could be. What else could that be? That the amount on the bonds on their balance sheet's going up for the last week. They're buying bonds. The Fed. That's the only thing I can think of. Can you guys think of anything else that it is? They started a week ago. They started purchasing treasuries. It's quantitative easing. But why didn't they announce it? I'm in the dark about all this. It's just I come across this chart, and I noticed on the end of the chart that the amount of securities that they're holding is going up. What's going on with this? You guys got answers? Let me know in the comments section, because I'm not sure, because quantitative easing's never been announced that they're doing quantitative easing again. There's no announcement or anything, but there's this what it looks like to me. And in 1 week, how much was that purchase between there and there? How much of an increase is that? I can't. Should have glasses. 2 million. Looks like just over 2 million, and now it's. I can't see it quite good enough. Anyway, could they be back into quantitative easing? And what effect would this have on cryptocurrencies? Well, they start purchasing bonds again. That's basically quantitative easing. They're going to start funneling money back into the system. I think they're in a position right now where they'll do anything that they have to do in order to support this ailing system. And as we move toward this recession, I think they're going to do more and more. As they do more and more, they're going to weaken the dollar. And this might be why they're doing it. They might want to weaken the dollar and create more inflation, you know. As we get inflation, as inflation increases and heats up, we're going to see cryptocurrencies get more and more lively, more and more money coming into the space, you know, directly, you know, and this is going to act as fuel to help fuel the cryptocurrency movement that is going to spread. It's already spreading worldwide. You know, if I would look at a second currency that could parallel the dollar as a world reserve currency, think about it really. The Chinese yuan's not there. It's not the world reserve currency. The dollar's been the world reserve currency up till now, but you know, China, Russia, India, Modi, and Putin just met together to discuss moving away from using the dollar as the world reserve currency. The thing is what else could become a world reserve currency? Gold's not really a currency, it's money. It's not a currency. Cryptocurrency acts more like currency, even though it shares a lot of the, especially Bitcoin, shares a lot with gold. You know, the fact that you mine it and everything else, you know. It's becoming more and more stable as a means to, as money. It's becoming money, even as much as it is currency. So it's kind of like on an area that's kind of in between ground, in between money and currency, you know, Bitcoin. But it looks to me, I mean, I've got no announcements of quantitative easing or anything like that, but this is what it looks like to me. This looks like, I'll focus in on it so you guys can see it. This is bond purchase right here. You know? Right there, that's going up. The amount of treasuries they're holding. And how could the amount of treasuries be going up unless they're purchasing treasuries? And that's what quantitative easing is. The Federal Reserve purchasing treasuries. So, I mean, this will be rocket fuel for cryptocurrency, especially if it gets out. Maybe they're doing it on the QT, quiet. They don't want anybody to know. But it will get out. People are going to find out. If they start purchasing treasuries, people are going to find out. You know, and the word's going to get out. And it's going to be very helpful to Wall Street. This might be the reason why we're seeing the market not roll over right now. You know, I think that the market was getting ready to roll over. Fall, you know? And there was a lot of volatility over the last couple months within the market. Up and down. Up one day, up 600 points one day, and down 700 or 800 points the next day, and up the next day, down. You know? That kind of volatility. That comes, those are like tremors just before you get the market falls. You know? Maybe they're supporting the market with this already. And maybe the market, I mean, if I know about it, don't you think that these guys that are in the market and make their living every day from the market do as much research as me, if not a lot more? You know, so they would know about it. I mean, you can't keep it quiet from them for very long. Why aren't they announcing it or anything? I don't know what's going on. I'm going to find out pretty soon for you guys. But this is kind of exciting for me to come across this tonight. Thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. And we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.